One of the most important part of your interview is that you impress the interviewer with the project that you have made. A lot of times what happens is that you have made a good project, but during the interview you become tongue-tied, you become anxious, you become nervous, and you don't know how to explain it the right way, due to which the interviewer loses interest in the project. He thinks that you might have copied the project or you're not interested in it, and then he moves on to another topic, due to which it can slim your chances of getting selected. But on the flip side, even if you don't have that much of a good project, or you have made a project by watching a tutorial, but if you know how to explain it the right way, then the interviewer is going to be interested about it. He's going to see your passion, and the entire interview will revolve around your project and the questions following up with it, and it will definitely increase your chances of getting selected. So how you explain the project can definitely make or break your interview. So to drive the point home, let me tell you a story of a friend of mine who was appearing for an interview of a company, Oracle, and he was not that good in DSA, but he was very good in development. So what happened during the technical interview? The interviewer asked him to explain his project. Now this guy explained his project so well, so beautifully, that the entire interview was around his project itself. The interviewer was actually very interested to know how he implemented those things, how he made the project, and it became a friendly discussion between two people rather than it seeming like an interview. And the interviewer did not ask any difficult DSA question, and he was able to crack the interview with ease, like a piece of cake. So we're going to discuss how you can impress the interviewer with your project in just 4 steps. So let's start with step number 1, that is setting the background. Now this is very important. Why did you choose this project? What problem were you trying to solve with this project? What came into your mind that you chose this idea? For example, in my college, a junior of mine made an app for students who are new joinees. So in the app, basically you could see a map of the entire college, and you could see the faculty's timetable. So if you want to go to meet XYZ faculty, it will tell you what room they will be in based on their timetable, or it will tell you, where which room is, where what faculty might be. So it is basically solving a real life problem that the students of the universities were facing, the new students. So that was a project that really impressed a lot of the interviewers. So make sure that you have a solid explanation of why you chose the project, and if it is a project that solves a real life problem, then definitely all for the better. So even if you made the project by watching a tutorial or watching a course, you still need to be ready with the question, why did you choose this project and what were you trying to solve with it? So this is the setting up the background. Now we have step number 2, which is the technologies. What technology did you use? This is something that is again very important. You're going to have to explain to the interviewer what tech stack did you use and why. So the why is very important, because the interviewer is going to ask you, if you use React, why did you use React? If you use Node.js for backend, why did you use Node.js? So whatever technologies you are using, make sure that you have some advantages ready of those. So you can say, I use React because of XYZ advantages. I use Node.js because of XYZ advantages. And make sure whatever tech stack that you're putting in the project, that you're using in the project, make sure that you know everything around it, because the interviewer is going to grill you on that. He's going to ask you a lot of follow-up questions on those technologies. So make sure that you're very well knowledgeable about the tech stacks that are there being used in your project. Now step 3 is the action. So the action is pretty much like the flow of the project. You know the flow, like how it goes from the login page to this page to how many pages are there. This is like the flow of the project, like what is happening in the project, what actions are taking place in the project, how did you achieve those actions. So you have to explain this to the interviewer. And in here, in this part, the action, you need to explain to the interviewer if you faced any problem. A lot of times the interviewer will ask you, what problems did you face during this project and how did you overcome them? So you need to be ready with this question's answer as well. So what I will suggest, whenever you're making a project, this is a bonus tip for you. Whenever you're making a project, make sure that you're making notes along with it, because a lot of times what happens, while coding the project, you remember the problems you're facing, but 6 months after that you will tend to forget. So make notes while making the project. 100% you'll be facing a lot of problems. Take some of those problems, make notes of them, and make notes of how you solve them. So you can showcase to the interviewer that yes, you were the one making this project, you faced a lot of problems, but you solved them using XYZ way. Okay, so make sure that you explain well the actions you took for the projects, the problems you faced while doing the projects, and how you actually built it. Now step 4 is the result. I cannot stress this enough, how important the result is. So the friend I was talking about, the best thing that he did was that he deployed the project on a website like GitHub, Heroku. You have so many options. So he had deployed the project and given a link in the resume. So the result is all about that. You need to make sure that you have a link to the project given in the resume, so that the interviewer can click on the link, go to the project, and then see everything for himself. Because what will happen, right now he is experiencing the project, this is what actually increases his interest. So he'll be going all over the buttons, the pages, he'll be asking you, okay, how did you implement this functionality, and you can have a discussion on that. He'll be asking you, how did you make the search bar, how did you implement this thing, and on that topic you can showcase your technical knowledge, you can show off your technical knowledge and impress him with that. So it's a very important thing that you deploy the project somewhere and you have a working model ready of that. Now, a bonus tip here that I'm going to give you, a lot of times people, what they do is they have deployed the project, but as soon as the recruiter clicks on it or the interviewer clicks on it, it takes them to the login and register page, and nobody is going to take the time to send their email, pick a password and register. So a bonus tip here for you is make sure that you have guest credentials ready, so that as soon as the login page opens, the guest credentials enter and they can just click login and see the entire project. That really shows that you have focused on caring for the interviewer. Make sure you have guest credentials ready. Apart from that, the entire working project should be deployed so that the interviewer sees it and feels it and can have a good friendly discussion on it. So that was the 4-step process that you need to explain your project in. Trust me, if you explain your project in these 4 steps, it is going to be amazing. I've seen this work pretty much all the time. Now, some bonus tips that I'm going to give you, so that with this and with these bonus tips, you have a 100% chance of impressing your interviewer. So the first bonus tip is be confident. Don't be nervous, don't be anxious. You have made the project yourself. There's nothing to be nervous about. Don't think this is a judge. Don't think that the person sitting in front of you is a judge. Think of it like a friendly discussion. Think like your best friend wants to know about your project and you're explaining your project to him or her. Think of the other person as your best friend, and this being a common friendly conversation rather than a judge asking to see and judge your project. So that's tip number 1. Now, tip number 2 is make your project unique. Even if you've made a clone project, what you need to do, you need to add some small functionality in it, because you might make an e-commerce website and the interviewer will ask, so what is different in it than Flipkart, what is different in it than Amazon? So you need to be ready with some common unique elements which the already existing projects don't have. So give your project a unique name, give your project some unique functionalities, because the interviewer is tired of seeing clone projects again and again and again. He's not interested in clone projects. Make your project unique, even if it's just a little bit of uniqueness, like some functionality, like some unique name, and that will be more than enough. The last tip that I have for you, and this is very important for those people who don't know where to get the ideas for projects, because a lot of times people don't get that many creative ideas and they just end up making clone projects. So if you want to get some creative ideas, if you want to get new ideas for your project, you can do 2 things. First, you can look around you, see what problems are there that are not being solved, and the second thing that you can do is use our friend ChatGPT. So go on ChatGPT, mention the tech stacks that you're comfortable in, and ask it to give you 5 project ideas. So you can go on ChatGPT, say, hey ChatGPT, give me 5 project ideas for tech stacks using React.js, Node.js, and databases using this, and ChatGPT will give you a lot of good ideas. Pick one from that, and you can even ask ChatGPT to give you an outline of the project. So definitely you can use AI in this place as well to make a good bomb project. So that's pretty much it. Use this way and 110% you'll be able to impress your interviewer. And if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing a lot of videos for you guys so that you're able to crack your dream company, and I'll be focusing on everything about interviews. So make sure that you click the subscribe button, and that's all. Thank you.